Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gridiron Recap. Kevin Walsh alongside Jersey Joe Archino and Ian Sachs, as always, both reporting for ESPN Radio Albany, covering the Jets and the Giants. Let's start off with the Giants' huge victory over the Dallas Cowboys. And one of the new wrinkles we saw in their offense was an introduction of a new running back, and they used 4 running backs in this game. Talk to me about the running back situation.
Well, yeah, obviously Orleans Dark was one of the big points of this game. Coach Coughlin talked about him in his post-game presser and kind of really commented, look, his run was one of the critical pieces of this game. And the biggest thing for the Giants here is if they didn't win this game, none of their games the rest of the season would really matter. This was a must-win, the most important game of their season, and they have a lot of confidence that they could gain from winning this one.
Now, interestingly enough, week 1 and week 2, one of the points of emphasis from Coach Coughlin was to get the defense and special teams making plays, and obviously they're doing that. What did you see from both groups in this big game?
Well, Coach Coughlin always likes to stress, a complete team performance. And in this one, I think you really saw it in all the phases. The offense not really at its best, but the special teams with a 100-yard kickoff return from Dwayne Harris. And then obviously the big turnovers, 2 of them from Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. I think Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie and Dwayne Harris, clearly the 2 front runners for this game. And sometimes that's what the Giants need. They're not really focused on the guys who can't play. They're worried about the guys who can play. And clearly Dwayne Harris, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, they could play, and they made all the plays for the New York Giants in that game.
And Joe was there on the scene at the postgame. So this is what Coach Coughlin had to say about Dwayne Harris's return.
He's played well from the receiver standpoint. Look at the guy that came shooting out of there in the drive that ended up with the touchdown. It was Harris. So he's made strong contributions offensively, and of course, punt return, kickoff return.
Now, Ian, although they did get this victory, Odell Beckham not at his peak in this one. The hamstring injury could be lingering. Where's the panic meter at for Odell Beckham?
I think you have to think about the panic meter more for the New York Giants as a whole. Odell Beckham, 4 catches, 35 yards in this game. Not a great day for him. Not what we're used to seeing. But, everyone's going to have those down games. But when you think about the wide receiving core for this New York Giants team, if Odell Beckham is not 100%, they're still without Victor Cruz. Those are their 2 top guns. They're right in the middle of a division race here, and they're going to need their best players out there on the field. And the 2 of them at the wide receiver position, not 100%, not out there. The panic meter needs to be getting a little higher for the New York Giants.
Now, Odell, a subpar performance. Another New York receiver with a subpar performance was Brandon Marshall. Was reliable, but had some big, costly drops in this game against the Patriots, as well as Chris Ivory having his first down game of the season. What went wrong for the offense in New England?
Well, I think drops was the big story of this game. You saw it on both sides. Brandon Marshall had a few. New England Patriots wide receivers had a ton of drops. So I think that's really just the story of the entire game. But when you look at Chris Ivory, that's really what I want to focus on. Ivory, 17 carries, 41 yards. A very, very subpar performance game. The Jets just 89 rushing yards. And that means that they're going to get into a quarterback battle with Tom Brady. Ryan Fitzpatrick versus Tom Brady. And I think you saw the difference in the game. Tom Brady, of course, Ryan Fitzpatrick is not Tom Brady. And you saw that in the end result. But still, the Jets showing great heart, losing by just 7 to the Patriots.
Now, the thing about this Jets team coming into the season was that even when their offense would struggle, they were supposed to be able to rely on the defense to still win them games. And they kind of fell at the mercy of Tom Brady. How should the defense be feeling after this one?
Well, I think that you have to look at, hey, we only lost by 7 to one of the best teams in the NFL, the New England Patriots, the team that we're trying to get at. But you also have to look at the Patriots on their last scoring drive when they went up by 10 with under 2 minutes to go. They marched downfield, shredded the New York Jets defense, and on the last play, letting Rob Gronkowski go untouched into the end zone, the best tight end in the NFL, you lose him, that's unacceptable. The Jets defense needs to wake up a little bit.
Now, they do need to wake up on the defensive side of the ball and definitely some offensive miscues. But this team, 4-2, and we're right there in Foxborough with the Patriots. How should this group as a whole be feeling moving forward?
Look, I think Ian made so many good points there. And like he said, this was a very razor-thin game to the end, very close. And one of the big things we know about the Jets is they rely very heavily on the core of offensive players that they have. When one of those guys, like an Ivory, is having a little bit of an off day, that is going to be a big detriment to them. But the fact that they were able to hang in there so much, especially for a young coach like Todd Bowles, I think that gives them a ton of confidence. And they're going to look at the film. They're going to learn a lot from this game. And going into the next one against the Patriots, they've got a very, very good shot to learn what they did wrong and to correct it.
Well, you heard it from the men themselves. Kevin Walsh, Jersey Joe Archino, and Ian Sachs. This has been Gridiron Recap. We'll see you guys next time.